way that they recommend is you're going to follow a standard box pattern like you would when you're doing tower. But you can't do something, you can't say like enter left downwind or anything like that. You're defining this, you're defining
Cactus 75.
So, if you need
Academy
a reference,
approach radar contact altimeter 2906, vectors for ILS runway 28 right, turn
you can
left
use
heading
line.
060.
So what you want to make sure you don't do is, because all the planes are going to be coming along this, if you have the plane out and you accidentally miss it and he's on the 3 mile, that's going to violate spacing on every single plane in that line. So you can use this. This is the downwind line. That's about, I think it's about 7 miles. It looks about 7. You know, that's all my estimate. If you're like, for a lot of people when they're early on,
spec 32 descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
You just aim for the 10, so that worst case scenario, if you miss, you end up at the 7. Worst case scenario, you end up at the 5.
Right.
So that's a pretty good safe point if you want to do 10-mile downwinds. But yeah, you can see the diagram right here. So you're gonna go in, you're gonna have a plane. He's gonna come in like this. Then it's gonna be 100 to 010, which is a right angle. And then for the dog leg, you have to do a 310 from this angle. And then if you're doing them up top here and you're doing a reverse pattern, it's 100 to 190 to 250. So and you can see it right here, 100 01 310.
Oh.
Reach 9, reduce speed.
You're gonna memorize those angles pretty quick though.
30 knots.
And if you know, it's like, because if you start hesitating when you're trying to turn them down here, it's gonna be a little too slow.
Right.
So I lost my place for a second there. Yeah, so dog legs. I'm sure you probably mentioned in the lecture, but if you didn't, so you're allowed to do, runway is 28, so 280. The maximum entry angle for each side is
Cactus 75,
degrees.
turn right heading 060.
You're almost always going to be doing 310 and 250 because most of the other angles are extremely steep.
Okay.
So for example, if you did something like a 260 and he was here,
FedEx 2218, turn left heading 280.
Minimum safe intercept location. This is Woody, which is 5, this green dash right here in the double diamond. So that's the final approach.
FedEx 2218, turn right heading 280.
About here. You can call it the center, but it's really actually, they'll disappear around here. So minimum safe entry is when they have to intercept the localizer within 2 or outside of 2 miles of that. Right. So if you intercept
reach
the localizer,
Niner, turn
right
heading
right here,
100.
It's an illegal entry, you have to go around. For safety margins, because sometimes the angles are a little plus or minus, you usually don't want to aim here. You just aim for the 10-mile ring, or aim for this green dash right here, which is 10 miles from the airport.
Okay.
And if you aim for there and you miss, you'll end up
Delta
there.
3811,
Bring him around
5 miles from Woody, maintain 3,000 until established on the
here,
localizer, cleared ILS, runway 28 right.
So entry angle, like I said, is 38 degrees. So, but yeah, so if you do something like a 260 and he's here, he's just gonna end up way down there.
FedEx 2218, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
So it's easier. You're almost always going to do 3 1s.
Right.
However, an example of an entry that's extremely easy for you to do, and I think it's true on scenario 1 here. One of your planes is going to come up here. It's going to be like Southwest 1582 or something like that. When you do a 260, when he's literally at the edge of the scope, he'll end up right there. It's real nice. So for your first call, it'll be like Academy approach, radar contact, altimeter 2992, exactly the same. Vectors for
FedEx
ILS,
2218,
right.
turn right heading 290.
And then turn, assuming he's going like that, turn left heading 260, descend and maintain 3,000. And if his speed's over, you say reduce speed to 250. You're always going to have to give him an altitude now.
Right.
So, and then once he's established on that turn, he's turned to 260, you can say, let's say he's about here now, you'll say something like 15 miles from Woody, maintain 3,000 until established and localizer cleared ILS runway 28 right.
Yeah.
Which, it sounds worse than it is, because all you're saying is distance from Woody, the altitude, and that he has to maintain, which is always 3,000.
Right.
Cleared ILS runway 28 right, which is a standard clearance. I've told them this, and it's the way it goes. The machine, when you say maintain 3,000 or cleared ILS, they don't
FedEx
really
2218, 5 miles from Woody, maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer, cleared ILS runway 28 right.
But for dialogue's sake, you have to say all of it. So the problem with that is that because it gives it 2 extra lines to screw up your dialogue.
FedEx 2218.
Yeah, they get
5 miles from Woody.
So
maintain
it's
3000
actually
until
almost
established on
better
the
if you don't say it,
localizer.
but it's just
Cleared
you have to do it
ILS.
properly, you have to
Runway
spell it.
28 right.
The main things you want to watch out on that is that when you say maintain 3000 until established on the localizer, very often it'll mishear 3000. So if you're not listening to the callback,
Spec 32, turn left heading 250.
2000, he's going to set off the ground alert.
Right.
So make sure you listen for the 3000 every time, and then make sure you listen for cleared ILS runway 28 right. Sometimes he'll say the distance from Woody. It doesn't affect anything though. So if you
Continental 248, turn right heading 250.
Right, so remember that you have to stay within 3 miles of the edge of the scope, so your actual border is somewhere around here. You're going to want to maintain, you know, like a standard pass. So if they start getting out here, you're going to want to start manipulating altitudes. I'll get to that in a second.
Spec 32,
So,
turn left heading
let's say you do entries
290.
like this. Do you remember your closing vectors and your lagging vectors and your stationaries and all that? Okay, so this. So
Reach
like, if you're
Niner,
a plane,
descend and maintain
let's say you have a
4,000
plane
feet.
Here and a plane here, so that's about 10 miles apart. Let's say you want to. Let's say you want to maintain that distance. All right, maintain 10 miles. So if you turn him exactly 90 degrees and he was here,
Cactus
you're going
70.
to maintain that 10-mile distance roughly. So that means by the time
Cactus
he gets here,
75,
he's
turn
here,
right
he's
heading
gonna be here.
100.
If you aim ahead of him, and this is all like rough, but let's say you aim way down here, he's going to start gaining distance because you cut the corner there. So by the time he's here, he'll probably be here. So you can cut distance that way. And if you're like, oh, they're too close.
You mean to like cut down from
Yeah.
10 miles to 5 or whatever? Okay.
Right, and obviously you can aim behind him. So
Right.
if you aim at him, that's neutral, forward, backwards. No
Right.
problem.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of the pattern here is about, you know,
Reach
like,
Niner,
saying,
turn
where can I, if
left
my
heading
plane's here and here, can I say
300.
The beginning stuff is pretty simple. So just like before, you're gonna have planes show up here, here, and here usually. Sometimes they'll pop up here or here or here. So now it's a much more 360. So usually if let's say they pop up here. So this is going to be entry into the downwind.
Cactus 75,
So usually
descend and
that's gonna
maintain
be
4,000
like,
feet.
You know, 360 is actually going to be kind of like that, 010. But usually you're going to be aiming for probably between 03 to 06. 06, when you give him that, he's going to go exactly like that and end up right past that corner. So if you go something like a 07, they're going
Continental
to start going
248,
away from it a
reduce
little
speed,
bit.
20
So,
knots.
Not unusable, but usually you're just gonna if you're gonna go away, you just put them into the downwind to line them up instead.
Yeah.
So something like a 03, 04, 05, 06. Hey, click. So if you start doing it quick, it's gonna be like boom, 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 boom. Right. Up here, it's gonna be like, you know, max of 1-2-ish, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5.
Spec 32, turn left heading 260.
This is on Blackboard.
What? The,
Continental
This should be an
248,
example video.
turn right heading 290.
No, I'm saying the dialogue sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Continental 248, turn right heading 290.
Bring up the dialogue sheet, and I'll go over some of the photos with you, and I'll be right back. Alright. Hey. So you want me to start you on, where were you? You did 2 earlier.
I think I started 2, and we were gonna do 2.
Reach Niner, turn right heading 310.
Right, so you just wanted to follow 2 for it?
I got that class, is it 4, I think. He moved it to 4 on Lucy's.
Yeah,
So-
it's 3. So you can probably get
So-
1, or 1 is to practice it if you want.
I'll probably just do the 1. Let me do, how long does it take, like 25 minutes?
Up to half, and I'd say like.
Let me
half
do
an
a
hour.
10 minutes warm up on 2,
Okay.
and then I'll have you record 2. We'll start over record 2. Thanks.
Continental 248, descend and maintain 3,000. Reach 9er, descend and maintain 3000. Spec 3-2, turn right, heading 280. Continental 248, 5 miles from Woody, maintain 3000 until established on the localizer.
Yeah.
Cleared ILS runway 28 right.
I mean, you see it as you go along, but basically, like, you have to do that test on flight strips early in the semester, but you don't use it, and so some of the symbols start to slip because
No, what?
a lot, but for the most part, like because of this, like you're not keeping track. You don't have to keep track on this hard anymore, so it's. Alright, you ready to start?
I think so, just, we're doing practice almost. Things going to, 2-8 right, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay. Do you want me to stop in about 10 minutes?
yeah.
Keep track of it?
Yeah,
Alright.
that would be great, thanks.
Alright.
Gulfstream 245 Echo Foxtrot, Academy approach radar contact, altimeter 2991, vectors for ILS runway 28 right. Turn right, heading
Spec 3-2,
100.
turn left, heading 250.
How's it going, man?
I'm gone. What you been up to?
Not much.
Is Joe still around here?
If he's here, he's in tower. He was there earlier. I
UPS
saw him walking around.
671 heading
Reach 9er, turn
Academy
left,
approach
heading
radar contact,
280.
altimeter 2991, vectors for ILS runway 28 right. Turn right, heading 180.
Right, so altitudes.
Gulfstream
So,
5 Exo Fox.
yeah, like I said, you can see they all start way too high.
Turn
And you need them at
left,
3,000.
Reach 9er,
They have
descend
to
and
reach
maintain
3,000
3,000
before they
feet.
intercept the localizer. So usually, let's say you have them at like 4,000 or 5,000 here. They'll usually descend a couple thousand feet by the time they hit here.
ILS runway
So
28
as long
right.
as when you hit that base turn, you start descending them, they'll make it in time. If you get down here, they'll probably still make it. You know. Generally, what I recommend for altitudes,
United
if a plane's down
351
here,
Academy approach
I recommend you put them on
contact,
4,000 on this
altimeter
downwind. If
291,
they're coming on up here,
vectors
and
for
this is gonna take a
ILS,
while to descend, so
runway
don't
28
forget
right.
way too long.
Turn
When you do the initial
left,
call, I recommend you put them at
heading
5,000.
160.
So what happens is worst
Reach
case
9er,
scenario,
5 miles from
they
Woody,
come in down
maintain
here.
3,000
Let's say that you're
until established on the
patterned like
localizer.
that,
Cleared
you're
ILS
supposed to.
runway 28
Worst
right.
case scenario, you have 4, you have 5, they fly over each other, and then you can use the extra space to turn them. So I recommend 4, I recommend 5. If they come in straight here, if you can give them a straight and fit them in your pattern, 3,000, that's gonna be
United
great. It's gonna be convenient
351,
for you. If,
descend
however,
and
you have a plane
maintain
just turning in
3,000.
here or here, that's gonna be really iffy. So I suggest you just fly them around and try to get them into the pattern if you can.
UPS 671
planes that show up
heading,
here or
descend and
here.
maintain
Again, it always
3,000.
depends on the situation if you get in
Turn
the pattern.
left,
But I
heading
recommend you put them
150.
probably at about 6,000, so worst case scenario, they're flying over. And then by the time they hit the downwind and you've established them in the pattern, you can drop them down to 4,000. You're gonna need to learn things
Spec
like
3-2,
you know, like,
turn
I went over it with you guys before, basically, but yeah.
left, heading
100.
100.
He's going 28. Okay, so for every 5 miles, he's gonna cover 5 miles. If he is here and he is here, that means you want to
Gulfstream 5
wait
Echo
at least
Foxtrot,
like
descend
a few
3,000
miles here,
feet.
so that he's 3 miles there, and then you can turn them.
Right.
So you're gonna do quick estimates, things like that. Do you have the dialogue yet?
Nah.
AC-1,
Where's
Academy
that?
approach,
Yeah.
radar contact.
It should be
altimeter
under getting
200,
started
1
generally.
vectors for ILS runway 28 right.
Yeah.
Turn
So the machine has
left,
some
heading 090.
quirks when it comes to the dialogue. So I'm gonna teach you. Let's see.
Gulfstream 5 Echo
Radar
Foxtrot.
contact. So you can see, like I
Turn
said, all of
left,
that
heading
command is still the
010.
same. Vectors for ILS approach, runway 28 right. So the main thing is, don't say approach, don't say just say vectors for ILS, runway 28 right.
United 351.
What happens if you say
turn
approach?
Left.
I tell you guys over and over again,
100.
like, make sure you listen to the callback in case something goes wrong. So if you say vectors for ILS approach runway 28 right,
Gulfstream
he'll
5
take it, he'll
Echo
respond
Foxtrot,
and expect
turn
vectors for
left.
runway 28
Cactus
right.
7-5,
So as far as you
turn
can tell,
left, heading
everything's going perfectly.
010.
when you go to clear them, he'll be going along, he'll actually intercept the localizer, he'll be going along, and then he'll U-turn at about the 5 mile mark. And when he U-turns and your pattern's here and
671
here,
heavy turn left heading
it's-
100.
Right. Of course, if he's at 3,000 there, 4,000, you can at least fly him up.
Right.
So yeah, make sure you
Gulf
don't
Stream
say
5 Echo
the
Foxtrot.
and don't say approach.
9 miles from Woody, maintain
The
3,000
other thing is
until
that because you're so
established
used to
on the
saying
localizer, cleared ILS
vectors for visual approach runway 28, right? You might slip that up a few times if you start slipping that in, but so vectors for ILS runway 28 right, and then turn left heading, blah blah blah. The additional thing here is since you're always going to be altering their altitude and their speed, so you might as well on this initial call add in descend and maintain 5,000, reduce speed to
Reach
250.
17 Academy approach radar contact with altimeter 299.
Changing altitude, descend and maintain, climb and maintain, straight forward.
Right.
Make sure you
Turn
say
right,
5,000, but don't say feet.
heading
If you say feet,
040.
it might misinterpret that. Speed changes. So
AC1,
I don't know if
turn
anyone's
right
asked Joel
heading
about it yet.
100.
So what's
descend and
written on the
maintain
sheet here is
3,000.
slightly different from what's written in the dialogue book, and that only
Cactus
matters because
7-5,
if you alter
turn
this slightly,
left
the
heading
machine is more likely to take
310.
the speed exactly. So increase or reduce speed to 20 knots. So this is increasing and decreasing by an integer, right? So according to the dialogue, it just says
Reach 17,
reduce speed by
descend,
20 knots instead.
and maintain
I find that when you say
6,000
20, the machine's more likely to take it. However, if he wants you to say 20, then you'll have to stick to 20 for your examples. Maintain minimum forward speed, maintain slowest practical speed, resume normal speed. Again, do those if you have to, but you know you shouldn't alter the speed too much. Reduce speed to 200. Make sure you know that that's
Gulfstream
you say
5
each
Echo
individual.
Foxtrot.
Don't say knots at the end of it. So reduce speed
Turn
to 200.
left.
The only
Heading
problem with the way the
150.
voice recognition works is that because you're saying 200, sometimes it freaks out.
Gulfstream 5 Echo
I would
Foxtrot,
say
vectors
in
for
general,
ILS runway 28 right.
if the speed is within something like 30 or 40 knots of what you said, you should just accept it, because it's not worth messing with.
Cactus 7-5,
And,
turn left
something
heading
like that 280
280.
right there, because it doesn't always take the speed commands correctly, it's
Continental
usually not worth actually
2134.
adjusting. all
Cactus
that.
75, turn left heading 280.
Again, maximum speed is 250 here.
28
So,
right.
yeah, reduce speed to
Turn left
250 is going to be one of the common things to say. Note, his note here, use of it usually means you didn't plan, so, with the exception of overspeeding. So, it's important that you know how to do this, and it's important that you slow them down when they're going too fast. But in general, you're going to try not to do
heading
speed changes.
340.
Crossing final before the dog leg. So this is, before the dog leg. So this is basically just because you need to give the pilot a warning and give them a reason for why you're doing it. And like I said, usually you would do that, for example, if you're getting towards the edge of the scope and you can't extend your downwind anymore, and you'll want to be doing something like, you're like, okay, these two planes are coming
Cactus
in like
7-5,
and I need to obviously
descend and
get my minimum
maintain
spacing of,
3,000.
Like 4 or 5 miles. Minimum is actually 3, but because of the speed differentials, they tend to catch up. So you'll want to stick around 4 or 5 miles up to 6. So you have one plane, he'll come in, he'll clear like that, and you have the other plane, and instead of clearing him, you'll extend
Cactus
past downwind,
7-5,
and
5
then the
miles
extra
from Woody,
distance
maintain
goes
3,000 until established on the
So you'll need to
localizer,
say,
cleared ILS runway 28
expect
right.
vectors across final for
28 right.
sequencing. Basically.
Turn right,
I'm on the
heading
wrong line.
030.
There it is. Expect vectors across final for sequencing. Here's your clearance. N3AB, 5 miles from Woody. So again, 5 miles here, or this is Woody. 5 miles is this dash, 10 miles is that dash. You know, and 15, 20, and you can clear them all the way out.
Continental 21
5 miles from Woody.
maintain 6,000.
Maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS. Don't say
Spec
approach. 32. Runway 28.
Turn left heading
Gulfstream
010.
Yeah, right, omit
Foxtrot,
approach,
turn
but
left heading
realistically, it
310.
goes wrong every single time. So it's not having just don't do it. And like I said, make sure they're at 3,000. Make sure they intercept
right,
before this
heading
point.
190.
And you're not unless he adds something into that, you're not going to do departures. And if he mentions it, if you learn traffic calls, he'll usually give you points back if you do them during an assessment. So yeah, that's the gist of it, and the rest of it's just gonna be try it till you get it right. So
Alright.
you want me to just start you up?
Gulfstream 5 Echo
Oh,
Foxtrot,
yeah.
turn left heading 270. 020, Academy approach, radar contact,
This one
altimeter
only has
2991, vectors for ILS
This one
runway
only has
28
three.
right, turn
No,
left heading
it's like 10.
020.
I think it's 7, 8, 9 or something like that. I can't remember.
UPS 671, Academy approach, radar
Delta
contact,
311.
altimeter 299 vectors for the
Descend
ILS
to
runway
maintain
28
6,000.
right, turn right heading 120.
Continental 2134, turn left heading 110.
I told Spec 32 to descend and maintain 3000 when he was like over here before.
9351,
And he
turn
started
right,
going up, and he got to like 7,000 feet. I had to overshoot him and take him back around because he wasn't gonna make it.
1582, Academy
Yeah, all I can say is that
radar
it-
contact, altimeter
Oh, you mean that he started
299
descending or he actually
vectors
started
for
going up?
ILS
He started
runway
going up when I told him
28 right.
That could have been a readback thing.
Yeah, it could have been.
turn right,
I guess yeah, that's fine. I got him now, so it's all good.
Mm.
Spec 32, turn left heading
Gulfstream
310.
5 Echo Foxtrot, turn right heading 300. Gulfstream 5 Echo Foxtrot, 4 miles
Southwest
from Woody,
1582,
maintain
descend and
3000
maintain
until established on the
3000, turn
localizer,
left
cleared
heading
ILS approach runway
250.
28 right.
American 020, Academy approach, radar contact, altimeter 299 descend and maintain.
Gulfstream 5 Echo Foxtrot, 5,
American
correction, 2 miles from Woody,
020,
maintain 3000
Academy
until
approach,
established on the
radar
localizer, cleared
contact,
ILS approach
altimeter
runway 28 right.
299 expect vectors for the visual runway 28 right.
United
Turn right heading
351,
040.
turn right,
I almost said approach.
heading
You also
290.
said visual, not ILS.
Did I?
Yeah.
American 020,
Southwest
expect ILS
1582,
runway
Academy approach,
28
radar
right.
contact, altimeter 299 turn left, heading 260.
Spec 32, turn left
Vectors for
heading.
ILS runway
I
280.
lost,
It's
Continental.
it's
Oh,
about
here.
325. So if you want to switch over.
Yeah, let's switch over.
Spec 32, turn left heading 280.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Alright, wait.
How's it? I mean, you're not doing the speed changes now, which
No,
is
I'm not doing
yeah.
speed changes.
But
Did
so.
you say something about it?
Oh, no. The only thing. What was it? Where is it? Speed changes. Use of these often mean you didn't plan. So that he prefers that you don't do them, basically.
Yeah, give it a try.
Do you find it significantly different with other speed differences, or is it kind of like?
The first one I thought
311
was a
Academy
pain.
approach,
Yeah.
This
radar
one here,
contact, altimeter 299
well,
expect ILS
after watching
runway
the video, it
28
made more
right,
sense.
descend and maintain
'cause I think I showed
4000,
last week on
turn
Tuesday.
right heading
And I watched the video
040.
Wednesday morning before the Wednesday class.
Spec 32,
Yeah,
5
so
miles
video
from
is
Woody,
like-
maintain 3000
The
until
video has,
established on the localizer, cleared ILS runway 28 right.
Like I said, it's about 325.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
Alright.
Thanks. Recorded.
Yo, at this
analysis,
point, what do I do with
understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You want to turn him to 280.
Alright. Southwest 1582, turn right heading 280.
And then when he gets about touching that first vertical line, yeah, that one, then you
Just
can
hit
clear
run.
him.
Alright.
Hit run.
Yeah, do you want me to actually start it, or you?
You can
UPS
record.
671, descend and
Yeah, you can start
maintain
recording,
5000.
Oh, what the heck are you
Alright,
doing,
let's run.
Spec?
Clay Wilkins.
Make sure you're saying American 020.
020, he doesn't
yeah.
respond to 020.
Yeah. Well, sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, well, he's doing a funky turn to 040.
Gulfstream 245, Echo Foxtrot, Academy approach, radar contact, altimeter 2,
Southwest
992, vectors for
1582,
ILS runway
10 miles
28
from
right.
Woody, maintain 3000 until
Turn
established on the local line.
right,
Cleared ILS
heading
runway 28 right.
080.
What's 1582's angle right now?
280.
Oh, okay. So you can't put them parallel if you're gonna clear them. They have to do an intercept angle, so it has to be
Oh, alright.
again at least 5 degrees difference, but 5 degrees would be so small it would be.
Right.
Yeah.
UPS 671 Heavy Academy approach, radar contact, altimeter 299 vectors for ILS runway 28 right,